And we're up.
Thanks, Lee.
Yeah.
Let me take the screen. So yeah, hey, hello everyone. Thanks for joining today's meeting. And this is Meshery development meeting, which we hold every Wednesday, where we talk everything about Meshery. We talk about your open PRs. We talk about some new announcements related to Meshery and all of the other standing agenda items that we are continuously tracking. So before we get into the meaty part of the call, we'd like to see who's new, and let's get us introduced with all of the newcomers. So if you are new to call, please don't feel shy and just open your mic and let's get introduced. So let's see, who do I have new? So I think I'm seeing some new names. Yeah, Tharan. I think you are new to the call. Tharan Nishwaran. Yeah. If you have your mic handy, you can, yeah, get us introduced. Unless if you don't have a working microphone or a camera, you can just say hi in the chat and get introduced. And I think Himani Saho, I think you are also new.
No, I actually joined few.
Yeah, okay, that's great. So yeah, you're joined. Yeah. Like in case if you still
Yeah,
want to reintroduce yourself, because I think many people might not
I
know.
yeah, I already did last time, but hi, if you don't know, I am like contributing to Meshery and I'm a student at VIT Vellore and I'm just enjoying Meshery.
Yeah, that's great to hear. Yeah, hope you
Yeah,
got some new shoes or something assigned to you or doing something. Yeah.
yeah, I was working on an issue right now, but I guess I just messed it up. Like I placed the placeholders, the UUIDs in the URL. So I have to fix that.
That's nice. Yeah, if you want, you can like add your agenda item to the doc also, like if you want to talk about it
Okay.
later. Yeah. Yeah,
Okay,
nice.
thank you.
Thanks for introducing. Yeah. Yeah. Am I missing somebody from here? Like maybe Bittu Kumar, if you are new.
Hello,
Yeah, hey.
everyone. Myself Bittu Kumar, pursuing BTech from Bhaktiyarpur College of Engineering, and right now I'm exploring Messi, and it's my first time in this meeting.
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah. So did you get some issue assigned to, or like what kind of area is comfortable to you, like back and front and like?
Uh, right now I'm comfortable in front end and also fix some issue in notification line
Yeah, that's
and
great. You already are getting along. Yeah.
yeah,
There's lots
yeah,
of issues regarding UI and
yes.
yeah, nice.
Actually, I'm already contributing other organization, Alisa Dodge Foundation, and many more. But it message it's my first time,
Yeah, nice.
and yeah,
Okay, I think we got all of the newcomers covered. Unless if I missed you, so please like don't feel shy and just say hi in the chat.
Hi everyone. Uh, I'm Apni. This is my first time attending the meeting. I started contributing last week, so this is my first time attending. I wanted to introduce and happy to be here uh, and looking forward to contributing here. Thank you.
Yeah, great to have you here. Like, can you give me like a bit of background, like what kind of areas you are comfortable with or want to contribute?
Yes, I'm interested in contributing through community management, through front-end issues as well as documentation. So yes.
Yeah, that's great. we'd have a lot of issues for you. Okay, yeah. So if I miss anybody, please don't feel shy and again saying again, yeah, please say hi in the chat. So yeah, okay. I think we got all of the newcomers covered. So before moving ahead, like we would first talk about all of the announcements and the standing agendas. I'm not sure if Matthew is with us today, but if Ian, if you are with us, like if you go over the tests and the development there.
I think Ian was on the call, and I'm not seeing him at the moment. But we might have
Yeah,
lost.
actually, maybe I'll go through this quickly. So yeah, a bit of background regarding this. So this is the place where we are tracking all of the tests regarding the Meshy. So this part is like mostly regarding the UI test, and no, actually, like this is not just for UI. So this is like end-to-end test for all different components in Meshy. So Meshy has like different integrated components. So there is a CLI for Meshy, which is called Meshy CTL. Then there is the UI client, which is which we call like Meshy UI, or referred to as Meshy UI. So these are, and then there are like these extensions and adapters. So there is a kind of a vast ecosystem regarding like around Meshy. So in this sheet for tracking all of the different components and what kind of progress we are making towards the test. So if you are seeing this, there are a couple of these red boxes still in this sheet. So these means like we are not properly doing testing for these components or these specs inside the components. So they are like right now we are using two different tool chains for two different components. So the Meshy CTL, which is a CLI, we are using the bash or bats for doing the testing, and for the UI we are using Playwright. And actually we have a pretty decent suite of tests right now. So there are like 70 or 80 tests in the UI and some 20 or 30 test cases in the CLI, and we are just hoping to keep them growing and increasing them and making them more stable and robust. So this is kind of an open call. So if you are interested in getting to like started with Mesh, this is a pretty nice area because it's not that complicated and you don't have to work with too many moving parts, but you'll still get a nice way to know how Mesh works and how get started with this. So if you are seeing any of these red boxes, these are like open areas to contribute, and this is a great way to start going with Meshery. And it's for everybody. If you are interested in Golang, then there's things for you. If you are interested in UI, then there are things for you. So any questions regarding this, or any guys, people interested?
There might be a couple of people that are on the call who have contributed or have open pull requests in this area. Actually, if that's one of you, feel free to talk about, I don't know, bats or how difficult of an issue it was. Or is there anybody that's on the call that has worked in the E2E tests for bats?
Yeah, hi guys, I'm Darshan. I think written tests for around three commands, one being start, stop, and Meshery registration rate. It's pretty easy, it's straightforward. All you have to do is understand the basic syntax. You can look at the previous test written in the test file directly. And yeah, it's pretty much easy. Go ahead and start with that.
Nice. Thanks for that, Darshan. Actually, a question for you. So part of writing these end-to-end tests, at least I think Abid was saying there's like two different sets. One that's focused on CLI, at which Darshan just spoke to, using Bash, and then using a little bit of this framework BATS to help just make the test writing even easier. The other one is the other set of test cases are focused on the UI, and they use Playwright as a tool to help make writing those tests easy. But Darshan, I had a question for you on of the test that you wrote. You know how when you want to assert that something is true or false, like when you want to say, hey, when this command has been run, we will know if it's successful or not successful if, and then like that part of like in your experience, having written a couple of these, that part of it,
Right.
what's it like? Yeah. How does that work?
Yeah, as I said, when you look at the previous test, basically it imports a certain file which is called batch library, which is actually embedded in the file system itself. So once you call that, you can call out assert success or assert failures, and then write out your partial output, whatever you want. So based to answer your question is that yeah, we use there is a thing called batch library, which is written specifically for that, and we test file directory. So.
Okay. I hadn't looked closely, but I just dropped a link inside of the Zoom chat to some of the docs that I think Darshan is pointing out. Actually, it says it's an incomplete doc at the top, which means that there's some help wanted. But Darshan, I think you answered my question, which was like, yeah, of what your or let me ask you differently. When you were writing out the criteria to identify whether the test was successful or whether it failed, like, did you, was it just string matching that occurred? Like, did you just say, as long as you see something in the response, then we know it's good? Or did you have to like does it have to be an exact match of the response? Or like, how fragile is that, by the way? Because, some tests that you would run, you're going to get you can run it a number of different times and you might get a different response each time. Like, did you find that it was arduous in that way, that it was like that the test cases were fragile like that?
Yeah, you're actually very right. Actually, I had a so the tests I've written for is stop, start, which is basically straightforward. So if you rate start, it should either start the system or fail. That's it. So there are two outcomes for this. Whereas for others, which I'm actually working on, is registry generate. So this includes including importing your models from the spreadsheet file, which includes your credentials or your ID. So that particular file, that particular E2E test is very difficult because we have a variety of outputs for that. So for that you have to write a lot of E2E tests, and you have to experiment it first of all before writing all these tests. Like make a model first, and then run it yourself, and then you can reach out to. I first of all, for me, Matthew was a great help. He gave me a lot of feedback on the E2E tests. So yeah, to answer your question, yeah, it's complicated for certain commands, but depending on the commands, some are very straightforward, whereas some are really, difficult.
You said, okay, I think a couple of times you said, hey, outside of this documentation, you one thing you can do is just look at the existing tests. And it sounded like you specifically might have worked on system start or system stop. This might even have your name on it. I'm not sure. But like, oh yeah, there we go. There he is. Okay, but like just digesting this a little bit, actually it looks, pretty straightforward. Yeah, so you assert, just like you said, assert success, assert output. Okay. So there's a start and stop message that you define up above. Okay. So you're looking for the, okay. There's the success message. That's kind of what I'm asking about. Okay. All right. Yeah, thanks for this. I haven't written
Yeah.
one before. So yeah, that's really
Yeah. Yeah, thanks, Darshan, for going through this. Yeah, I think like there is some amount of strict matching, and some of this is like basically just seeing like if the command passed and didn't crash, kind of like didn't do a graceful exit or like was successful. But yeah, I think there is some amount of string matching, and like I think the good thing like is that which we might need to follow is like not trying to be like exact in the like in the whole message, but like just seeing like if we're successful, like if we are trying to import models, we might just need to see like if if we are trying to import 42 models, just seeing like if 42 was imported rather than seeing the whole logs, because like we keep changing the verbiage of the things and we would change some words and then all of the tests will fail, and that makes it a bit fragile. So like keeping the surface area of the string matching a bit lower would help making the test a bit more robust. But I think I would need some amount of it always. Okay, thanks for going through this. And I think we got the agenda items covered. And before moving on, we'll have some pretty nice announcements for today. And first one I will go through. So this is an announcement regarding some of the work which most of the contributors recently have been putting in. So this is regarding the Layer 5 Academy. So Layer 5 is a not kind of, is a remote provider which can be used with Meshery, and this remote provider has kind of a special function which is called the Academy, and this is the place where you can publish your content and go through and learn through all of the content that's published by different providers and organizations. So right now I'm on the cloud.layer5.io/academy. So this is the homepage for the Academy, and you would see lots of certifications and learning paths. And there's one nice, actually some special learning paths just dedicated towards Meshery, and this is kind of actually what I was going to point through today. So this is a great way to get introduced to Meshery and get yourself, once you complete the learning part, you would get awarded a badge, and there are also certifications coming soon. So these are the things that you can wear proudly and are a sign of your expertise in Meshery and your knowledge in Meshery. So good thing is like it's all free, so you can enroll into the course and start taking this and get to know Meshery. And there are actually a couple of different learning paths regarding Meshery. So this one is the introduction to Meshery. So this is a great way to know how Meshery works and get through all of the Meshery's functionality in a structured way, and you can take tests to reform your knowledge. And there's another learning path which is mastering Kubernetes for engineers. So I think the title might be a bit weird, but this is like specially dedicated to how you can use Kubernetes with Meshery. So this is kind of specially tailored towards use of Kubernetes with Meshery, and this is a great way to know how to do Meshery and to actually use in production and how to deploy Meshery, and I have to actually like take benefits of Meshery to work with your day-to-day Kubernetes stuff and DevOps stuff. So this is a great way to know how to do Meshery properly, and nice way to get actually certified to do, like you're doing Meshery properly, and know you might be missing something you might have not found for docs, because like things might be scattered in different places. So this is a great way to have that done in structured way, and you would know what you need to learn before moving on. And it's not just limited to Meshery in the same way. So there are different organizations which are putting content so you can learn on different kinds of things. So there's the end-to-end Kubernetes with Exascale, so how to work with Exascale, and there would be content probably tailored especially towards how to work with Meshery on Exascale. And there are certifications, so you can get certified about different topics, and you can track everything that you are going on through the My Academy. So this is place where you know what kind of content you are enrolled into and what your progress is. And as you take exams, you can see how you are doing in the exams and how you're, whether you are passing or failing, and if you need to improve. So yeah, any questions, or like how do you feel about this?
I have a question. There might be others. One thing on this very topic, last time we met, last Wednesday, someone had suggested that maybe, well, someone had suggested that mastering Meshery learning path it's written from the perspective of a user, which is great. So if you use Meshery, here's the tips and tricks, and here's the ins and outs, and here's the, like, I don't know that we cover all the features that Meshery has. I doubt it. And so I think there was kind of a call for volunteers to look through it and
Yeah.
identify, underserved areas of Meshery. There was another suggestion, though, that this learning path, it only has one course. And if it's a learning path, like it goes on for a while, like you might have a couple of courses or more. And that one of the courses, or we might add a new course, and maybe it would be focused not on the user, but on the contributor, which there are a number of contributors on the call now. We've got tons of docs, contributing docs, right? Like, we've got tons of, we've got very freshly recorded, very freshly delivered contributor training, which is posted on meshery.io. Yeah, so the last time we suggested maybe there should be a new course for contributors. Maybe there would be a badge or even a certification associated with that. There's actually a number of people on the call that should be carrying that. Some of you do carry around a Meshery badge already that's been awarded through the system. but maybe we could elevate that with a small exam, a certificate. Now, but I wanted to bring it up because I wasn't sure if anyone, I think it was placed on the table, the proverbial table for someone to pick up and champion and lead. And I know there were a number of people that were interested. Zahan was one of them. She can't make it to today's meeting, but Ritesh, you might have raised your hand. I think there were a couple of people. Has that gone anywhere? Have we identified, like, have we opened an issue, or is this something that we're gonna do or no?
Yeah, I volunteered, but I did not work on it. I will look
Okay,
into it now.
okay. If that is the case, that sounds a lot like what you said last week. Great, and I get it. Like, all right, you got any number of other things going on, so no problem. But in order to help you, in order to give you the right tools and platform to like support you in doing that, what would the next steps be, or how do we rally the troops, so to speak? Because I think there's some other people. I'm assuming maybe there's other people on the call who are interested. If they are, they should sound off now. How do you want to get that organized? What could we do? Or Ritesh, it might not be that you're looking to organize the whole thing, but just would like to participate in the development of that and helping get it out.
Yeah, like
Actually,
I was
yeah, go ahead.
looking into like how model and like components are created. Like as a contributor, I found it like challenging. So maybe I could like work on some tutorials, or like I will see the how the courses are created, and like create some uh, courses to like how a contributor can figure out on contributing to that specific areas. Docs are already there, but maybe
Yeah.
like more depth guide.
Yeah. Actually, like, yeah, as you would, like, any of you who would work on like having a learning path or some content regarding the contributing part. So it's okay to, like, if you go through docs and kind of like, even if you just copy paste some of the things from the docs, because like that's kind of the source of truth. And if it can be like taken verbatim or just change a bit, so that's okay. Like you can like take things from docs and put in there. So you don't like need to reinvent it. So you can take from the docs and like basically like structure it properly so users can go through all of the things properly and step-by-step manner. And also I had kind of a proposal, like rather than putting the contributing part inside the same learning path that's for users, we probably might have actually a separate learning path, like contributing to Meshery, because otherwise we kind of like the people who would want to complete this, they won't be able to do it without contributing, and they might not want to contribute. Like if you're just trying to use Meshery in production, you don't like might not care actually about the contributing part, so they should be kind of be able to finish the whole path without feeling like they are missing on the contributing part. So, and also like if we give a badge or certificate at the end, so we just do that in like we would have two different badges and certificates for the two different courses. Sorry, for the two different learning paths. So we might have a different learning path for the contributing to mesh, and it might be the courses might be divided based on the kind of the areas of concern, or maybe like based on like on like UI, then the backend, then the mesh CTL and mesh, like there are different parts to contribute. So like it's up to you, like I have a plan to how you are going to break down, because this is a pretty big topic, so we need to properly break down this. And to that benefit, so the academy kind of supports like kind of multiple levels of breaking down the content. So at top you can divide your content into courses, and then the courses can have modules. So then you can basically divide your courses into multiple modules, and the modules would contain your mostly the theory regarding the course. And then you can also have a test, and the test would be also on all levels. So you can have a test at the module level, a test at the course level, and a final test at the kind of an, or you might call that an exam at the learning path level. So you can keep all of that structure and test users at every point of time. So yeah, I think it's just like you first, before like if you start doing this, like I think what I would suggest is like taking a Google Doc and basically having an outline of what we are going to put and how we are going to structure that, because after that it's easy work to just taking from docs and just putting the content. So I think the main part is kind of properly outlining the structure of the learning path.
Cool. Oh, great. I captured a couple of notes. One is that Wiley has shared an outline of, I think, the current learning path. Learning paths are intended to have multiple courses. It's really not a learning path unless it has multiple courses. So we would want to do this, add to it by adding another course.
Yeah.
Any number of. So right now, the learning path or the content that's defined in here is just the current content, or just from the user's perspective, rather. And so, yeah, so it would need an outline from the contributor's perspective.
Yeah.
And then right now, I guess we're tracking Zahan Kwang, Ritesh, and Hamani as the three people who are interested. And okay. Well, I'll try to help get people organized, get us officiate, so to speak, help support, elevate it. Great. Okay.
Yeah.
Anybody else?
Thanks, Lee.
Yeah. Thanks.
I think I'm pretty excited because like this would help the contributors go through like everything regarding Meshery easily, and would be a kind of actually like we would know like who is like if you are certified, we would know like some amount about Meshery, or yeah, that would be exciting to see new certificates, and you can put these on your LinkedIn, you can put it everywhere on GitHub, so that would be pretty cool. Okay, I think that's mostly for Academy. I think maybe Lee, if you talk about the coming internships.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Shashank, does anybody want to highlight these? Okay, great. I will. Or Shashank, I guess you will. Yeah, we can't hear you, Shashank, if you're speaking. Yep. As it turns out,
Can't hear you.
yeah.
So, hello.
Yeah, we can hear you.
So we have three interesting mentorships for Meshery for this fall 2025. So here we have Meshery's relationship for AWS services. And one more is there, the Meshery solution architecture for cloud native deployments. And Meshery has been attached with the minutes of meeting, as you can see here on Linux Foundation memberships. We have 3 of them. And we can have our hard working contributors to solve some real life problems here and get something paid for that also. That's it from my side, and I'll ask Lee to give some depth on
Yeah,
that.
great. Thank you, Shashank. Yeah, sorry to interrupt. Yeah, thank you, Shashank. Yeah, the pay part doesn't matter at all. Like that is, if that's what you're here for, get out of here. Like that's not the value that we're offering. The value that we're offering is life-changing, career-changing experience. So pull up your work boots, be ready for critiques, ready for growth, ready for fast-paced growth, actually. The Meshery internships are the #1 most popular internship out of the entire CNCF. Nope, not just the CNCF, the entire Linux Foundation. We take them really seriously. Everything that you see before you is built by interns before you. Yep, the whole thing. It's taken quite a few years, but yeah, so we couldn't be more serious about a long-term investment into individuals who have previously demonstrated their consistent participation and their significant impact on the project. All we want to do is support you. That's all we want to do. Make you smarter, faster. And selfishly, we want to do that because it makes the projects better, smarter, faster, easier to use. And so, yeah, there are a number of mentors here. For my part, I promise that if you're showing up, asking intelligent questions, working hard, doing your homework first, even if they aren't intelligent questions, so long as you've done your homework and aren't being lazy and asking other people to do it for you, well, I'll support you. I'll change your life. You're going to have a little bit of thick skin, depending upon where you are, because you're here for that. You're here for that growth. It's takes a lot of energy on my part to give it to you. So anyway, if that's why you're here, great, perfect, jump in. We have as many internships as we want. We don't have enough qualified candidates, so go get qualified. We have people who have 10 years of experience, 15 years of experience doing the internships, people who have 0 years of experience doing it. There's all kinds of reasons to have an internship. You can be doing community management. That would be wonderful. You can absolutely have not just one, but multiple internships. You can be doing nothing but tweeting. That would be great. You know how many tweets Meshery or the related projects have sent out in the last few months? Like 1. I don't know, something pathetic. There's all kinds of things to do around here. All the things that you see being done are things that you can do, or things that we need people to do. Cool. All right, so those are them. And yeah, we got some GSockers happening right now. Some on the call, I think. Got LFX going on all the time. We can start the LFX internships anytime we want. We run our own program. We run some in conjunction with the CNCF, and we also run our own independently. And so, yeah, people ask all the same questions all the time. Where should I focus? It doesn't matter. You should be consistent, show up. Don't speak to what you're going to do. Do it. I can't tell you how many times I answer the same questions every day, or people say they're going to do something every day, and they don't. And that's unfortunate. I hope that they do. So prove it. Anyway, there's a bunch of interns on the call right now, and ask them if it's worth it or if it sucks or if they'd rather be out of it, or, you know. Also, don't come asking for an internship on day one. 'Cause how do you know if you want the internship if you haven't worked on the project, or if you haven't learned how to like force a chuckle at terrible jokes? Some of you have had practice at that when you have to laugh at like something a professor says, like, and you just want to get that A, so you sort of force it out.
Yeah.
But anyway, great, good. Like I said, there honestly are more internships than just people showing up to grab them. So, oh yeah, the internships, for my part, I don't care what you're working on. It doesn't have to be anything that's described in any of that stuff. Show up and help. There's all kinds of help needed on every subject. So cool. I just asked for volunteers on something. 2 people signed up on the call, Ritesh and Himani. Zihan, who's already an intern, she's not on the call, but she'd already signed up. So, and that's one of the easiest things to do, because most of you are trying to be contributors. And we said, hey, let's make a certification for contributing and write out what it looks like to contribute. And there's all kinds of materials already created for how to contribute. There's tons of documentation pages on it and freshly delivered training from maintainers. And then, so if you're here wanting an internship and you didn't volunteer to do the thing that you're trying to do, I would rethink how you're approaching this. So, all right, good. Hey, the next topic, thank you, Shashank. That's fantastic. The next topic up is also has my name on it, so I'm going to skip right into it, which is that we're in the throes of the Meshery v0.8 releases. Those are ongoing. We are working our way, inching our way toward a .9 release. Meshery's been around for over 5 years, and it hasn't hit 1.0 just yet. That's because it has a big old scope, and we're almost there. It is, in fact, about time to land the plane, so to speak, on v0.9. We're on the tail end of v0.8. This is our roadmap from a while ago on what we thought .9 would be. Some of the mission has been accomplished, some of it hasn't. I'm hoping that over the next few weeks, that all of us, or any of you, will help us identify things that we have completed and maybe suggest things that we won't complete.
Yeah.
That can be postponed. So, Abid or others, comments or questions, thoughts on the.
I think it's been a year since the .8 release, and kind of there's actually a lot of things that have been done that were kind of actually the part of the roadmap. Some were not part of the roadmap but came up along the way, and I think we're pretty much ready for the .9. And there might be some things we might kind of move on to the .1 and get cover them in that roadmap. But yeah, I think we are pretty good, and there are some parts actually we might have missed and we might actually be able to complete in the next coming weeks. And there's lots of improvements in the UI, so I think that part is mostly done, like the things regarding workspace. So if you have not used the new workspace in Meshes, you should probably do, because that makes working with workspace pretty much easier. And I think this is mostly done, and there were some stretch goals that I think we probably didn't achieve. So this was like integrating the environments into the workspace. So this is still an open issue, but I think we kind of actually achieved what we wanted to do with workspaces in Meshery UI. And I'm not like going to go through all of the things right now, but there are still like some open issues in here, and you might be able to work, but you would need a bit of knowledge. Like these are not beginner friendly, but if you want to work on some of these, maybe not in this release cycle, but maybe in the next, but you can keep working on them. And these are pretty interesting topics, and why we would want to put our focus into and energy into. And there has been some exciting work done into meshing, which actually we didn't track here, like the work done by Nikita adding support for embedded meshing, which is actually kind of a pretty great thing. So I think we can like balance some of the things that we missed from the roadmap with those like which we actually achieved and were pretty great. And some of the things were left in between, like the work on Azure and ACP, because the contributor that was working on had to leave because of his personal reasons and work things. But yeah, these things were kind of left in between. Somebody might be able to pick these up and continue them, but there was some prior work done in these areas. There has been continuing work regarding the connection registration and enrichment, and I think we might be able to land this before the .9. So this is the work that Fahim and Nikita is again doing. So yeah, I think we're mostly we probably did good work in mesh sync, and I think we would be able to land most of it. But yeah, I think we kind of were not able to do the Azure and AWS things properly because of the contributor leaving. And there has been work done in model init and model build, and I think we actually graduated them from being experimental, if I'm right. So that's also great. And some of this work has not been completed regarding the policy, so we still don't have policies as first class, but we did enhance the evaluation and made it robust. So I think we did some good work there also. Yeah, there's lots of things that we did in this release cycle, and I think we need to properly do some marketing and have some proper blog posts regarding this. Because there's lots of things that are done. If you have been like joining the call for an year, you would probably know like this. I've done lots of things. Yeah, I think in the coming weeks we might wrap this up and see what we are going to complete and what we are going to move to the .1. But yeah, thanks Lee for going through this, and I think this is need of the hour now to get this wrapped up.
Yeah. Yeah.
So any other questions?
Yeah, in some respects, if we end up working on a contributor learning path with certificate, depending upon when that occurs, that would be listed there on the .9 release as well. There might be a couple of things that have been accomplished that we didn't go back and add to the release. So to be fair to ourselves, if maybe there's some things that we didn't achieve, but maybe there's some things that we didn't plan on that we did achieve.
Yeah.
And so,
Yeah. Exactly.
for my part, I pledge to spend some time trying to provide status on some of these. But anybody that's on the call, you can also provide status.
Yeah.
Like actually, most of these things, like it's an awesome opportunity to go write like a small blog post on any of these because when we make the release, we'll want to announce it, and we should have like a description of what these things are. And so there can be a number of blog posts because it's a large release. So a number of blog posts, some covering different areas. And some areas that we really just like we haven't covered. We've done and I get an F on this, by the way, for my part. We just are doing a terrible job of blogging or of announcing or of tweeting or of like telling people about the awesome things that go on here. So if you're concerned that maybe there's been a blog post written about any of this in the past, nope, rest assured, you're free and clear, pick anything. Yeah. Actually, speaking of blog posts, I think that might be the next topic. Varad, do you have that topic?
Yeah, let me. So talking about blogs, we have three blogs, draft blogs that are present in repo of Meshery.io. One is regarding Azure, another is regarding relationships, and three regarding Canvas snapshots. So these were from past contributors, and they need a final review. So anybody interested would would have a final review of these three and give a review on that.
Great. I wonder if, yeah, Ritesh, were you going to say something by chance?
Yeah, I was reading the relationship blog and it was helpful, but I think like I can review it and like provide some more suggestion if I can.
Please, that would be really helpful. That'd be great. As a matter of fact, depending upon how that goes, we might need to get if you end up spending a fair bit of time on it, let's make sure to get your name in the byline as well. And that's actually one of the things I was trying to say before I gave myself an F on writing blog posts. I was trying to say it's an awesome opportunity for any of you to help get your name out there. And it's one of the best skills that any of you, I'm going to say something potentially offensive, that any of you specifically that live in the country of India who don't write English maybe as well as you possibly could, this is an awesome opportunity to like work on those skills. Arguably the best technical skills that you could learn here, English. The one that will serve you longer, deeper, wider, broader than any other technical skill. So yeah, so great. So there's another, Varad, you said there's 3 of these that have been drafted. We just need some final touch-ups to get them out. This next one that you brought up with the Helm chart, Helm canvas snapshot, great. And good, we've got 5, the mascot running around. So good. So this one also could use just another pair of eyeballs, just anybody that's on the call that wants to offer a review. All of the pull requests, all of them, anybody is welcome to review. So for Aditi and Ranit, and I thought it was Ranit, but it was Aditi and Shravan, where you can start by getting involved in blog posts is reviewing these 3 existing ones. It's exactly what Varad is asking for. And for anyone that wants to contribute code or write a blog post or do anything, one of the easiest ways to get involved is to go review what someone else has done. Makes them feel good, helps move things along, gives you an easy opportunity. You're not on the hook to do anything to like have it correct. You can even ask questions. Maybe you're just, but you can offer feedback and it helps. You learn at the same time. So Great. Well, thanks for bringing this up, Varad. Yeah, we should absolutely plan on getting these out. We'll probably have to update the dates on a few of them.
Yeah, somebody volunteering, I will make sure there is name on. There's name also there. Yeah.
Thanks for sharing this. I guess Lee, again you regarding the addition of visibility
no.
levels to it.
Oh, no. Okay. Yeah. Hey, look, I'll try to make this real brief because we should hear from Aditi and
Yeah.
Varad and the other folks. Hey, really quickly, there is, well, Meshery has a number of architectural components, like Ritesh was saying earlier. And each of those components uses a central library called Meshkit. It's just a central Golang centric library.
Yeah.
So that they can all utilize some of the same, behave in the same way, behave as a Meshery component. One of those behaviors is when they have an event, they want to log a bug or a piece of info or a warning or an error and so the inside of Meshkit there is um, there are events. Those events have certain properties like what was the severity of the event? Was it just info or was it an error? And there's a few different properties. One of those properties that we don't have is like, oh, is there a visibility level associated with this event, or is there like a sensitivity level to the information
Exposing it,
that's And I just want to bring up the topic. I don't know that it's necessary to add another property to events to identify a visibility level as much as you could use other things within the system, like who is signed in and what role do they have, and that would dictate maybe what type of events they should be able to see. If the events though themselves aren't annotated in a way in which you could flag whether or not they're sensitive or not, then yeah, so hence I just wanted to bring up this discussion.
I think I think we had prior discussion regarding this also, like to guard the security of the event. So yeah, I think visibility might be a good way, because then I think in a way it might be actually simpler than having, like, if we do sensitivity levels, then I think there might be more logic need to know like who has access to what levels of sensitivity. But maybe with just like couple of visibility levels, it might be like easier to do it. And because I think there's also one thing that users might be like, most people might not know, like you can also view most of the activity that a user is doing from their public profile. So like if you have been working on some design, doing something, you can, like, just like your GitHub profile where you can see who is working on which repos, you can have the same kind of experience with Meshery also. So you can see who is working like their public activity. So we'd like to like safeguard some of that also. And it would be like, if some event is private, we won't be logging that as your activity, or some way like obscuring some sensitive information out of it and showing it just like he worked on something rather than giving you the complete information about it. But yeah, thanks for bringing it.
Nice. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Nikita or anyone else or Abid, can you guys think of reasons why we wouldn't do that? Like how that just is overkill that we achieve some other way? Maybe if you have sensitive info, you could just mark it. You could use the existing severity level to just say this is a debug level, or maybe we should just add more severity levels and treat them as sensitivity levels / severity levels, or yeah, just I mean that's a little bit of an abuse.
I think there is also like category and action. I'm not sure, like maybe you might be able to use a combination of the three or something to denote that. But yeah, I think there might need to reflect on it a bit. But yeah, thanks. Maybe yeah, we are running long time. So yeah, Aditi, if you're ready.
Yeah,
Aditi,
let's share my
yeah,
screen.
yeah, go ahead. Like you don't need to ask like just for the other contributors, you can just take the screen and you don't need to ask like if your microphone is working, we'll tell you.
Yeah, the issue I was working on is the Nighthawk performance generate. The Nighthawk load generator is unable to load the test, whereas the 4 is doing the same. So how far I explored, the Nighthawk results are first converted to 4 results, and then performance metrics are plotted. Uh,
I
so
think there was some
uh,
echo at the end. So yeah, if you repeat the last thing, there was some echo from your mic.
the Nighthawk load generated results are first converted to 4 and then performance metrics are
Yeah.
plotted accordingly. So this is the transform.go file, which converts
Yeah.
these from Nighthawk to 4. So
Yeah.
this there could be an issue in this file that is causing this error. So I would like any suggestions, like whether I'm going right or I should go with another file.
Nikita, you might,
So,
yeah.
so
Yeah, go
yeah,
ahead.
I did some debugging like on this like issue. Can you just like go back to the issue description like in GitHub?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I posted like here like you see like this message like in the if you scroll, yeah, I posted there is like the output like of logs of this binary which is like C++ which we call. So there is like some issue which is coming like from this C++ library of Nighthawk itself, and it is quite outdated. Like I think it's like 5 years or so like old, and yeah, so the error is not in this like in the Go wrapper, but it's coming like from uh, underlying C++ binary. So like, or maybe we like passing some params like one. Yes, so we may want to update this rebuild binary which we use. Or I don't know, like as we discussed previously, maybe we just even want to completely get rid of a network. Lee, do you have like a
Yeah,
um,
I gave Aditi some feedback and
like I mean, do we need to continue to support Nighthawk, or are we going to get rid of
yeah,
it?
we want to. We just need someone that has the time and the competency to fix it. So
Okay. So in that case, yes. So probably step number one, you can look like into this like in CPP binary itself. Like I don't know, like it's quite old. You can you may want to like just take the fresh version of a Nighthawk and to, like compile it and check if it will work with our wrapper. Because like we have like a wrapper which is written in Golang, and the actual like Nighthawk is like this pre-built binary.
And thanks, Nikita. Yeah, like Aditi, if you look into it and you might get to know like how this
Mm,
works, then you might continue the thread properly on Slack and tag Nikita and others. But yeah, like is the get Nighthawk repo that's kind of a wrapper over the Nighthawk binary. So most of the logic is there. Like there might be the issue might be because the binary is out of sync, or there might be the issue in the wrapper. So you need to kind of like first point to that, like why the issue is actually coming from, whether from the actual binary or from our own wrapper. Then it would be easy to fix it. Yeah, thanks, Aditya and Nikita.
thank you.
I think we have a couple more minutes left. So, Varad, if you're ready.
Oh yeah. So yeah, we have started working on So we have a feature in our cloud that allows org to have a particular theme for the UI they are viewing. So one of them is a modal. So the issue with modal is few modals in cloud are using a scratch reusable model that's been initialized in the cloud. So this PR fixes that and makes them use system modules.
Yeah, nice.
This is the fix around that. So basically, it was in the using the model made from scratch. So I just shifted it to use system model. So if
Yeah.
so actually the changes are transferred from system to cloud. So if it's using system, then if the things the color would be visible
Yeah.
here as well.
Actually, that's
That
pretty bad. We are still not completely migrated to systems. Yeah, like because like if it exists in cloud, then the same issue might be in Meshy. So like if you are doing this, make sure like in Meshy you are completely using the system models and not anything else. And same for like other custom-made system components like the tooltips and everything. Like in place, you are still not using things from system, and then things break and we don't know like why. So if like this is great, so because you are moving to system, but kind of might do the same for Meshery to see if I'm using something not from system. But yeah, that's good.
yeah, sure. Yeah, that's all for me.
Yeah, thanks. Okay, maybe Wiley, if you're ready. Actually, I think sorry, Wiley, I think we are already over time, so I think we missed a couple of guys. So I'll make sure you are at the top in the next meeting. But yeah, we are already a couple of minutes over time. So before wrapping up the call, so tomorrow we'll be also having a newcomers meeting. So if you are completely newcomer, new to the, yeah, like you are always welcome to join the meeting. But if you are new, then you might find more value there because you would be getting assigned new issues, and you'll get actually like get introduced to how to contribute and how to get going with Meshi. So if you are new, don't skip this. This is the best way to get going with Meshi. If you feel confused or not knowing like what to do, this is the best place to get started. And it would be tomorrow at 6:30. So it would be an hour before this call starts. So yeah, please join tomorrow, and there will be people to help you, and you'll get going with Meshi. So before wrapping up, does anybody else have any parting thoughts? I guess not. So yeah, thanks for joining the call. I think this was a pretty great call, and there were pretty nice, exciting announcements, and got a lot of things covered. So yeah, thanks for joining. See you next weekend, and some of you guys tomorrow. Okay. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Thanks, Abid. See you guys.